And today I prepared a brief sharing on the onboarding because this is the topic of the month at the community. I will be sharing onboarding. I wanted to share what we have done as a social selling team for onboarding. And there will be two parts to it: the components of onboarding, how we inject social, and then how we applied it to the actual process. So what I think that with social selling and onboarding, this is now a bigger and bigger opportunity to identify your social selling champions or digital champions very early as they enter the team, and also in overall in social selling. And I think in sales enablement, when you look for your champions and you look for your stars, the new hires is a very, very high priority group to focus on, right? They're fresh, starry-eyed, very inspired, loving everything. Um, so that's why when you inject social and the onboarding process, the outcome is bigger compared to when it's an afterthought and when they enter just the overall social selling training. So when for me, entering onboarding with my program was one of the tasks that I had to handle from the start. And what I started with, I identified what are the components of social selling program that I want to introduce during onboarding. Some of them were to identify champions. Some of them were to inspire, get them excited about some cool things and support that they will get. Maybe some new things that other companies do not do necessarily. And also get some technical stuff out of the way so that they do all the setup right away. And I don't have to worry about them not knowing about a certain platform that they need to be aware of. So the first half of the screen, these are all let me, 1 second. I have my free Zoom, so it doesn't have all the features. Anyway, so all the squares are with what things I wanted to include into onboarding. So first, LinkedIn profile update makeover if needed. It is still maybe 70% of salespeople do need it. Shivam, you tell me if I'm wrong, and maybe things changed since I left the
I
company.
think numbers should be more than 70. I think every salesperson needs the video cover story, and I completely agree with you.
Yeah, so you would see, and I would say that when you look at LinkedIn profiles, and this is the first thing I see when I have a list of new hires, first thing I check is their LinkedIn profile. And sometimes you see completely abandoned profiles, which is okay. This is something to work with. But sometimes you see there was an attempt, but this attempt was probably well intended, but you see weird photos, people wearing sunglasses, people looking cool, people riding an airplane, all the profiles I have seen. Um, so 70% optimistic number would need the LinkedIn profile makeover. Um, the second big chunk is tech stack and your social media policy, which is very often an afterthought, like social media, social selling tech stack. You want them to set up all their accounts, you want them to get all their access, and then the social selling foundations as in the training itself. So within each block was LinkedIn profile update, photo shoot for this nice new fresh LinkedIn profile photo. We have been doing this offline. What I have seen right now on LinkedIn are the new profession of the Zoom photographer for LinkedIn. Uh, so if you have completely 100% virtual onboarding, the photo shoot for LinkedIn photo is still possible via Zoom. Then now we have video cover story creation, which is another, I think, really getting more and more important for sales guys to do, and they do need support with that. and they can get all the social media assets right away, so they don't need to think what to put on their banner if they want to have a branded banner on their LinkedIn, some featured media, um, videos that talk about the customer pain points in their new company. So everything that they can include. So there's a lot of support here because something that they get and can use right away. So LinkedIn Makeover will take them one day.
So Anna, is this something that your team was doing for each seller that you worked with, doing the photo shoot, doing the makeover, and all of that?
So because we had, and that's what I will touch on during the process, how we
Perfect.
implement this into the process. It was an offline proper photo shoot with a photo booth, photographer. They will get their pictures done. Now they're not coming to a nice hotel for onboarding. So, but that's why I'm saying the Zoom photographers are there now. um, because honestly, selfies do not always work. We always say portrait feature on your iPhone will do wonders, but sometimes you see too many filters. The angle is weird. You can see it's a selfie. So just having this option is nice. Assets, we did produce the assets for social. Um, Video cover story creation is a new feature, also can be done via Zoom for sure, because I mean, my team developed over 2020, developed the whole video production over Zoom function, as I believe many teams did. Um, then tech stack and social media policy. Social media policy, just a brief highlight of social media policy, what you cannot do. Sometimes there are specific conditions, specific articles in the social media policy that are not very obvious, that are not standard. Like you cannot discuss competitors. You cannot compare your company to others explicitly without certain approval, which you don't want to get for your social media post. So things like that, definitely highlight. It will just make everybody feel easy and confident in posting on social, and you get it out of the way. And then the tech stack, sales navigator, onboarding, what is needed to get the license, social engagement platform onboarding, what is needed to get access if you have one of those Seismic, Live Social, or Hootsuite, or whatever you're using to distribute content. In Oracle, that was very self-service. So you would have to have it done. So a little bit of focus on this will go a long way because there's so much happening during onboarding. And then the third part is the actual foundational training. So what is social selling? How we do it here? What are our success stories? So catch all training that is happening for new hires. So how we did that in the actual onboarding process, again, in my case, what I was supporting, the onboarding process was not real time. It was more of a quarterly once every 3 months, we would have an onboarding. Ideally, it did not always happen that way, but we would plan for once every 3 months, all new hires from all countries will come together physically in one place. We'll go through 1 week of onboarding, then go back home, and then they will have this onboarding sessions that will be focusing on sales process and social selling, mostly not really product oriented, more sales training oriented. And before the physical event, we had some pre-onboarding activities that were also online. So you have online, offline, and then offline, but on site, and not in one space. So now we changed, of course. So it's all virtual, but still, I don't think it's still done for like 2-3 new hires. It's always done for a bigger group. So that's the context. Not ideal. It was how it was done. So how I distributed these squares. So pre-onboarding, what I wanted to get out of the way is all the tech stack access, social media policy, which can be done with emails and videos, async, don't have to be on one call. And we've been doing sharing social media assets, social engagement platform onboarding, sales navigator onboarding, and social. So by onboarding, I mean just getting all the licenses, social media policy, and I forgot one more thing. And we did the LinkedIn profile workshop / training, which was in 2 parts, where we would look at LinkedIn profiles, select some good ones in this current cohort. We'll do a training, then we'll ask everybody to please go and execute on your updates. Here are your assets. You will have your photo shoot during the event when you come to this nice hotel in Singapore. And then we'll have the follow-up where we review how it's done. So then they come into event, they would have the photo shoot. We would pitch. So I have here pitch video creation, which is not a part of like must-have skills, but there was something inspiring. Introducing the team. This is what we do for you. This is how you can come to us. In what cases? We were focusing on different things every year. So the 2019, 2020 was a lot about video for sales. So how to do video, how it works, why. It was very new thing for most. It was very weird for most. So we did a bit of inspirational pitch. How cool is video? And what kind of support you can get. Because in our case, we provided lots of video production support. Then after training, they would go home, and we have social selling training, which is just covering all the aspects of social selling. They would have a training on for the whole week on different aspects of content creation, on social prospecting, social media listening and research on the video. So we called it Go programs. So we had Go social, Go call, Go something else. Then we started to merge actually Go so prospecting with social. So we inserted social selling training into overall prospecting training because that just makes sense. And coincidentally, lots of teams in other companies and in our company, different teams, they did the same, just merge social selling with prospecting. And so the video cover story creation, I would definitely do during this training as well, because video cover story creation, this can be the end result of your work on the pitch or your presentation. And when you create it, you need to be prepared. If you have never done anything, I don't think it will be so great, but still better than nothing. Like in my case, I don't have any. I have recorded so many. Oh my God. So, so yeah, the end result of this, especially for enablement team, is not just getting the social selling onboarding out of the way and inspiring people and meeting the new guys and getting them excited about all the support they can get. But we get lots of content out of it. We get lots of, for example, when we do video for sales training or video inspiration pitch, they actually record videos. So we get this content out of this, which can be used to introduce new hires to teams, which can be used by them on their social profiles if they feel like it. So we have all this video content going on. We invite social selling champions. They share their success. So it's already learning from how it works. I think that is the most powerful part, of any part of like pre-event, during event, and post-event onboarding. We always have existing champions coming in and saying how they're doing this. And we have social media posts by new hires where we did have some challenges, like use this hashtag, post about your onboarding event. It's nice to have. Um, and then so what was interesting outcome, because we focused on video so much, we use a lot of video pitching and video training in onboarding and after onboarding. In about a year, we really changed the culture in the team to video culture, and it was just in time for COVID because we were also used to video. We're sharing our updates, success stories, introductions via video. We have all the ecosystem created, infrastructure set, and then we all went work from home. So that was perfect timing for us. But these small actions, they do influence culture, the way people see opportunities in the video, and this will spill over to their sales activity because it's
Hey,
a
Anna,
format. Yeah.
how did you define? This is probably a stupid question, but how did you define the champions with regards to this program? How did you say this person was a champion that would make sense to bring in?
Anybody who has success stories to share,
Perfect.
more than one consistent success with social selling is a champion for us.
Perfect.
And somebody who is sharing this with us and with others. I mean, we had a champion who was officially nominated as like top LinkedIn voice in his country. So that was a
That's
very
nice. No, that's
good
nice.
achievement for our team. So yeah, I think it's somebody who shares their good experiences, because there's no one use case in social selling that you want to look for. There are tons, and I learn from them as well.